I'm worried about the state of the Legion itself. I understand that because of the various pandemic lockdowns, legions that survive in part based on serving food and beverages and having events, that a large number of legions are facing closure. Now, if they were, I don't know, a multi-billion-dollar automaker or, I don't know, SNC Lavalin, they'd get a massive shot in the arm, Bombardier. But these legions, have you heard anything about the fate of the legions? I've read reports that, a number of them in Alberta, a number of them across the country, for want of maybe $100,000 a pop, are risking being shut down forever. Just the physical place, which is also all the memories and the place where veterans get together. Do you have any news on that?
Yeah, so if I understand it correctly, legions do not qualify for any of the aid programs that have been put forward by the federal government. Some provinces, if I understand it correctly, have stepped up. I believe Saskatchewan has. Some private donors have stepped up with some really large donations this year. But unfortunately, a lot of those donations go to the most famous piece, which is the Poppy Fund. Mm-hmm. And the Poppy Fund has severe limits on what it can do mm-hmm. with that money. Mm-hmm. That money can only go directly to help veterans, so it cannot help local legions stay in business, if you will. And as you said, one of the greatest problems that we'll see if a local legion shuts down is what happens to the history, the memorabilia, the art, all of it that's been collected over the generations. Where does it go? Will it just disappear? Yeah. And if it does, there goes our history and our remembrance.
I remember I was speaking a couple of years ago at the wonderful Legion Hall in Mississauga, right on the river. And it was a gorgeous building, but it had fallen into some disrepair. The location was incredible. The architecture was incredible, but that place needed a reno. And I'm not saying that out of any aesthetic sense. It was getting run down. And we had this meeting there, and I said to folks, you know what? Omar Khadr got $10 million from Justin Trudeau. That would be enough to redo, 50 Legion halls. I was very frustrated by it. But I think it's the popular culture. Whole Foods, which is a fancy grocery chain bought by Jeff Bezos and Amazon, they said that they weren't even going to allow their employees to wear a poppy. Now, they backed down under withering criticism, but the fact that the big brains over there who are so in touch with, the zeitgeist and the social media, the fact that this went through all their internal checks and no one in the company said, no, that's a bad idea to ban poppies. They got an attitude adjustment from the public, but, Amazon, Whole Foods, these are very savvy, sophisticated customers. For them to think, no, poppies are old, that's Don Cherry Canada, we're a more woke Canada. That's scary to me. I'm glad they backed down, but the fact that they thought that was a good idea to begin with shows that we've really lost the universality of Remembrance Day.
Yeah, I was stunned to wake up to that. I was thrilled before the day ended to see them reverse their decision. As per typical lefties, though, they couldn't even say sorry. Yeah. It's a simple friggin' 5-letter word. But I was thrilled that not only politicians, but Canadians stood up on social media and slapped them down. So I guess to the broader point of what we're talking about, it gives me some hope that Canadians, by and large, do care about their veterans and about our history. While on the other hand, this morning I woke up and read online that only 71% of people are expected to wear a poppy this year, down from 85% last year. Mm-hmm. And I think 85% was optimistic as far as what I saw on the streets and when I traveled through Toronto and that area, airports, things like that. But I guess we just have to hold on to the hope that this 1 year without, massive celebration of the remembrance of what veterans have done for this country doesn't sidetrack this thing and doesn't get it off the rails. And it's up to you and me and everybody else that has a small platform to keep at it and to keep reminding people that Justin Trudeau's words don't matter to us. Actions matter. And when Canadians turn out en masse on the 11th of November, that's a sign of hope for me.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.